Well, Tsonga is absolutely coming out of his shoes with every forehand. That's what Patrick was saying. The balls are a little bit slower, and at the start here, the first 3 or 4 games, he was quite prepared to work the ball and work the angles and give him the off-pace shot with a little more spin. But at the moment, every forehand, he's really flattening it out.
It's harder to penetrate now, and it doesn't affect Nadal as much because he plays with so much topspin. So even his short balls, which are landing relatively short, are harder to attack now. Got it.
He's closing well, gentlemen. He missed that one volley in this game. But for the most part, his volleys like this, pretty solid.
Well, his stats are great up at net. He's 9 for 11. Nadal now knows he's in a fight.
You know, that's another really well-played point. He opens the court up with the serve. Nadal thinks he's got to be making the approach down the backhand, goes back into the forehand, and he's up 5-2. Good form on this volley. Very solid play so far from Tsonga. Jo-Wilfried Tsonga has 14 winners and 8 unforced errors. Rafa Nadal 6 and 2. Respectively, as the crowds outside and inside have quieted down watching this because it's been it's such a surprise.
And Cliff, you can see the roof there as well. It's not fully open, so normally if there was no rain in sight, they would open that roof fully, but must be a little bit of suspect rain floating around. And so that's only about a quarter open.
Here's the bird's eye view of it.
Do a little showtime with the new balls in hand and missed the easy overhead.
Very opportunistic to come in there, just did not make the shot though.
Lots of times the players like to use that wide serve with the new balls, get a little more bite on it. Nadal tried to hit it wide, but he missed his target. And Tsonga just explodes on that forehand.
Patrick, I just love the fact that normally when Nadal plays an opponent, he's the one that can show that physical presence on the court, but he's up against a heavyweight tonight.
Who's connecting, huh? He's throwing some roundhouses like that one. 15 winners.
Heavyweight who's not Muhammad Ali. He's sure thrown a few punches on this court like Ali. 2 points from the set. He got it. Excuse me, that was a drop volley from halfway between the serve line and the baseline. Is that in the textbook for killer?
Well, he apologized, so I got to believe he didn't really mean it to be like that. He'll take it.
But he really meant those forehands to be what they were.
Oh, yeah.
Saved 9 total first set points. He still hasn't lost a set.
Yeah, this is a different animal, though, this first set. Tsonga is just taking it to Nadal. Are you kidding me?
Wow. Tsonga upper set. Spectacular start here for the Frenchman, Jo-Wilfried Tsonga. He made it look easy, and he's got that sort of casual look about him. And if part of the reason for that casual look is that he wants to maintain his
cool,
energy
right?
for the rest of the.
Well, I think Darren, I think you made a great point, because when we looked up at his box there, we showed his coach. His coach sort of rolled his eyes, said, "Whoa!" But I think that's been part of the plan. He left the court, Tsonga. Hopefully he didn't leave what he's been doing, wherever he just went, because that was a scary set of tennis.
I have a question for you guys, though. PMAC, what is it about this court that brings out such brilliance in players like, Fernando Gonzalez last year comes out playing spectacular.
Well, it's a new
tennis
court now, so it's a different court. Maybe it's the arena.
But what do you think?
Well, when Tsonga exploded with that last forehand, the crowd exploded with him. I haven't heard this crowd roar like that this year. And 15,000 people filling every seat. And they can't quite believe what they're seeing, but they're loving it because they've looked at Rafa as invincible, and he's very invincible at the moment.
You're absolutely right, Bud, and he can work the crowd. He played one of his matches on Margaret Court Arena, and he was really whipping the crowd into a frenzy out there.
Second set.
The composure that Tsonga's showing so far as Nadal is going to challenge it.
The ball is spotted.
Nadal challenged after he looked up at his coach's box, which is right above him there in the corner. And they're wrong.
15 Nadal has 2 challenges remaining.
Uncle Tony there on the left bottom of your screen. His manager, by the way, is there, Carlos Costa from Spain. I just saw Carlos today, and he just flew in because he made a promise to Rafa that Rafa said, if I make it to the semifinal, you have to come. So he arrived yesterday from Spain. But nobody, including old Carlos there, who's just next to Uncle Tony, he's shocked. He's dumbfounded.
30 love.
Like the rest of us. Very fine player in his day, especially on the red clay.
Tsonga seems to be able to hit the big volley when he needs it, and when Rafa is too far back, he can hit that drop volley.
40 love.
19 winners against 8 unforced errors for Tsonga.
And he's not trying to overplay Cliff, and that's the great thing. He's not trying to blast the cover off every ball, and he's being a little unpredictable.
He's making it look easy so far. Rafa Nadal has only been able to win 2 games in this 38 minutes. Women's semi-final followed by Australian Open today on Tennis Channel starting at 6 a.m. Eastern Time. Our coverage, Federer, Djokovic. How good is that going to be? Who are you guys going for in that one?
The Fed.
Yeah, it's hard to pick against Federer, although I do think Djokovic goes in with a reasonable chance the way he's been playing. And
Sharapova and Ana Ivanovic, live coverage at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's Friday evening on ESPN2.
Very tough to pick against Sharapova the way she's played this tournament as well. The big question mark over Djokovic for me is if it's extended past 3 sets. We saw his match against Ferrer and had a lot of trouble breathing towards the end of that match.
He got tight, didn't he?
Nerves set in, and he does have a history of some breathing problems.
I think he'll be helped by the fact, at least in that aspect, that it'll be at night. All the matches now from here on out for the men at night.
Oh, that's just too good.
And there's a ball, Darren, that earlier in the tournament, Nadal was flattening out with the backhand. But he's rattled right now. He doesn't know what to do. And instead of stepping in and hitting that backhand, he just pushed it. And that allowed Tsonga to take a big cut at the next ball. And another line hit from Tsonga. But that was an opportunity for Nadal to be aggressive in the rally, and he didn't take it. He can get away with that on a clay court. He can't get away with that against someone playing this level on a hard court.
Watching the number 2 ranked player in the world, Rafa Nadal from Spain, against the number 38 ranked Jo-Wilfried Tsonga. Tsonga in front a set, 1 game to love. Again, the drop volley working fine for Tsonga. You're watching live coverage, everyone. Rod Laver Arena, part of Melbourne Park Complex. We're down under in Melbourne, Australia for this first semi-final of the men's singles. It's Rafa Nadal and Jo-Wilfried Tsonga. As Tsonga has surprised this audience here down under by winning the first set easily, 2 breaks, 6-2. Now he's up 1 zip, and Nadal serving at 15-30. Big point.
Nice second serve from Nadal. You know, he's having no success on the first serve points. Nadal's only won 47% when he gets that first serve in. And at the US Open last year, he won well over 80% of those points. Tsonga having no trouble returning the Nadal serve. He lost his racket. He tripped and then nearly got to that ball. He's that quick, Nadal.
Well, that could really cost him, because this was going to be, well, he went down pretty awkwardly there, which you rarely see from Rafa, and that was going to be an easy forehand for Nadal. And instead, he's now facing break point.
Yeah, that would have made an easy pass, wouldn't it?
Yeah, oh yeah. It was actually really the first pretty ugly looking volley Tsonga's hit, and he still gets away with it.
Oh, this is a big challenge.
The ball spotted.
Huge challenge.
If Nadal is wrong here, he loses this point, and that's a break of serve. You rarely see that. Nadal got the ball back into play, so the point wasn't over.
Well, he didn't hesitate at all there, Darren, with the challenge. Wow.
Oh,
Pretty close.
Risky. Well, if he had not, as you boys were just saying, if that ball was good, then he loses the point, even though he got it back. But it worked out fine for Nadal, and it's deuce.
Easy, guys.
Tsonga.
He's getting on top of the point straight away, Cliff, and he's the one that's really spreading Nadal in the points, and Nadal can't get the ball out of the middle of the court at the moment.
He
He's
also
got to
doesn't-
make an adjustment here.
He doesn't seem to know whether it's going to go at forehand or backhand side either, because Tsonga's moving it around pretty well. He's not predictable.
No, he's flat out really just overpowering Nadal and he's not doing it in any real pattern. He's doing it from all sides.
Break point.
Talk about an adjustment. There it is right there, a smart point from the Spaniard.
Deuce.
And you see that speed from Tsonga to run down that ball.
Pretty impressive. But Nadal has not served well. He's not been able to spread the court with any consistency as he did there. Another serve there from Nadal, basically just right down the middle. He ends up winning the point, but look at his serve direction. He's not spreading the court enough. He's the first serve, at least in the deuce court, he's been able to hit some up the middle, but his second serve down the middle, and most of his serves right into the strike zone of Tsonga.
Pretty short, too.
Yeah.
Game point, Nadal.
Tsonga showing excellent balance here as Nadal tries to jam the big guy, which is not a bad play, but he just doesn't get it in there with enough pace on it. And just a brilliant return. Only a 91-mile-an-hour second serve there. Tsonga with his 22nd winner.
And that is Nadal.
Good news, bad news for Nadal. Only 3 errors, but he needs more winners.
That was a struggle, but Nadal holds. Some Spanish fans appreciating that, and some outside as well with the Spanish flag draped over them. It's very pleasant temperature down here, about perfect. Come in here and you can pay to get into the grounds, and then you can watch it on the big screen if you can't get inside this Rod Laver Arena. It's about 8:40 in the evening here. Nadal hasn't had a break point in this match yet.
Well, this was a better point from Nadal here. More aggressive. It's a little more energy into each of his shots, particularly the off forehand. He needs to step into the court and try to take charge a little bit more.
Oh, come on. Oh, that's just silly.
How about the feel from this guy? Yeah, he's got a smile on that one.
That was a good job by Nadal to get that ball down low because he could see Tsonga coming in, but that's the shot your brother would play, Patrick.
Exactly. That is an eye dropper.
15 all.
Nadal is challenging the ball on the right service line. The ball's caught in.
Nadal challenging this serve. And it was out.
Second serve.
Second serve.
No, that one ball just far too short for Nadal.
And the one thing Nadal's done well is his challenge record. 11 times he's been right, 3 times wrong. Tsonga, maybe because he doesn't have as much experience with the challenges, not played on the major courts until this tournament, 3 and 8.
Heavier forehands, better depth on those shots, pushing Tsonga behind the baseline. That's more like the tennis that Nadal needs to play.
Any panic from Nadal?
No, for sure. This guy is taking it to him, Cliff. No question that Nadal is feeling his game. He's making adjustments out there.
He's making adjustments, Cliff, but no panic.
Been here before, isn't he?
Yep. Actually, never been to the semis of a hard court slam.
Yeah,
No.
good point.
You see that first serve, 136 miles an hour, was missed, but you see the variation on the serve that he's giving Nadal, and that means Nadal can't find a rhythm on the returns. Breaking balls wide at about 100 mile an hour and then occasionally serving the bomb down the middle.
And those first serve points have been key for Tsonga here today. Darren, he's won 89% of those points. In New York at the U.S. Open, Tsonga only won 65% of his first serve points against Nadal. So he's doing a better job setting things up with that first serve.
That is called long.
Deuce.
Just like his serve mechanics a lot, Tsonga. The ball is in the right spot every time. Throws it up in the same spot, and he can vary the direction.
One of his buddies is Gael Monfils, who's obviously had a little more experience, another talented young Frenchman. And the two of them grew up together, and they used to practice trying to imitate Andy Roddick's serve. Now, Monfils actually looks a lot more like Roddick's. And apparently that's what the two of them did.
He missed it. Little shrug there from Nadal. Is this shrug saying, can this guy just keep hitting the lines all night? What do I have to do to win a point?
Net. First serve.
Other than the fact that Andy Roddick has got the biggest serve and can hit it as hard as anybody in the game, what is it about his serve that you want to copy, Patrick, these guys?
Just that. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the biggest, and then he gets a lot of action on it. It's great consistency on the serve, does Roddick.
That was 100. Wait a sec. It's a lot more than that.
132. Yeah.
Fourth ace.
Nets. First.
Uncomplicated. It's relatively short swing. Not that much that can go wrong with it.